Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and got a little bit of a project to do. This is a knife that I have had for quite a while actually. I've probably had this knife close to a year. I've carried it a handful of times hiking just to kind of test it out, and I meant to jump into doing a review on this sucker, but before I do, to be fair, I wanted to change the cord wrap on the handle, because this one that I did, as you can see, is not done well at all. It's frankly pretty terrible, and I didn't know what I was doing at the time. Since that time, to be honest, I still don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I bought this exact knife for a buddy who was going hiking with me a lot and wanted a fixed blade. And so this on Amazon, I'll link to it down below. I don't remember exactly how inexpensive it is, but for 52-100 blade steel, this cold steel is crazy inexpensive. It's all one solid piece. It's a drop forged knife, which means it's a little bit heavy, but it came laser sharp as cold steels usually do. It's a great blade steel, and it's just a great beater kind of outdoor user knife. So I'm going to rewrap the handle today and hopefully do it a lot better this time. When I gave my buddy his, I wrapped his way better than this one. So I'm going to try to do that, although that was a couple months ago now, so I don't remember exactly what my process was. So this might not go perfectly well, but we will see. You're gonna experience it with me today. So first things first, I got to get this off of here. I don't even know what I was doing when I tied that off on there. It's not a very good not a very good knot. Let's get that out of my way. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this, and hopefully that gets it free. Yeah, there we go. All right, that came off. Yeah, this is all just gonna pull right off of there now. This handle wrap was fairly comfortable-ish, but it could have been more comfortable, and I didn't really love the way that it looked. But yeah, this is the way the knife ships in this sheath with that. So this will be the reference point for the knife naked. When I review the knife, I'm going to do it with my new handle wrap on it, because I don't personally, I wouldn't keep this knife like this. That's just not the way that I would use and carry this knife. It's not that comfortable for my hands naked like this. It might work better in other people's hands, but for me, it's begging for a wrap. So let's go ahead and figure out roughly how much of this we are going to need. Let's see. I don't know which end is the right one to pull from here. Really have no idea. I'm probably just going to need to wrap this up when I'm done, but let's see. All right, what I'm going to do, I think, is just give myself a little bit more than I had with the black cord. So I'm going to match this end up here. I'm going to go, I'd rather have slack at the end and cut a little bit off. So I'm going to go, there's the end. I'm just going to give myself an extra, I don't know, 2 feet ought to be good. There we go. Now, what I found when I did my buddies, this I do remember, was that with the, his I did an actual wrap where I kind of, you'll see, I don't know if it would be like a Japanese wrap would be what you'd call it. But I did his once, and then it didn't fit in the sheath because part of the handle has to nest in here. And so after that, I pulled it all off, and I pulled the internals of the cord out of it. And then once I did that, the whole thing fit just fine. So I'm going to do that again. I'll probably save these thin internal cords because they can come in handy as well. But yeah, I'm just going to pull the center out of here. It's going to make this cord way, way thinner, and it's going to sit much tighter down on the knife. There we go. So that's what goes in the paracord. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strands of that in there. So that's out. Now we've got this, which can sit a lot flatter. So what I'm going to do is find my center point, pull both of these ends together. This might be a little bit too tight of an angle to really see what my body is doing over here, but that makes this my center point. So I think, if I remember correctly, on his, I just kind of started at the center, and I did one of these guys where with every, oh shoot, how was it? I think every time that I came around the knife, I did a wrap like that and just alternated sides. Let's start with that and see how it looks. See if I'm crazy or not. So we've got a twist there. Should mean I need to do another twist there. Which means come to this side again. Another twist here. Let me start over because that looks terrible. Let's go back here. I think if I get kind of a rhythm going, then I can probably get this looking more consistent. I just want to make sure I'm twisting the same direction every time. So let's think, if I twist and twist, pull, twist that time. Twist, twist. Not too much. Also got Okay, that feels pretty good actually. All right, so this isn't exactly the prettiest handle wrap I have ever seen, or even that I have ever done, but it should be very functional like this. I like the grip that it gives me. It feels good in hand. So what I think I'm going to do is from here, let's see, I'm going to tie once here kind of around the pommel. Give myself an ending point. I'm sure there is a better knot for this. This is what I'm going with. Okay, so that's tied off there. Now that that's tied off, I think I'm going to try to run it through this hole. Yeah, that is way too frayed. Hold on. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, so now it's coming off of that knot, and it's coming through here. Yeah, that feels good. All right, so to finish the whole thing off, I'll just put a knot back here. I'm gonna harden that knot. That way, can't really untie all that easily. Let that cool off for a second, and then I'll cut those, and then I'll harden the ends. Let's actually just give those a cut now. So that's all hardened up. That'll work. Now, something I've seen people do, and by people I mean John over at BGM Knives, who actually does really good, well done cord wraps, is he hardens his cord wraps, I assume, with heat, probably a torch. So I don't want to make mine like crispy like these bits are, but I do want to see if I harden them just a little bit, it may give me more longevity out of them. They might stay together for longer without kind of unraveling. So I'm just gonna apply a little heat here, see what happens. Worst case, I cut it off and do it again, but this probably ought to make it a little bit tighter simultaneously, because it should kind of shrink up a little bit as I do this. Yeah, I can see it's working. It's got just a little bit of kind of extra sheen to it there where I've done that. Let's repeat that same step over here. All right, let that cool before I put my hand back on it. We'll see how it feels in hand. Obviously you can see this is not the most consistent line where I've folded over. There's a couple spots where I messed up my pattern a little bit, but in terms of functionality, yeah, that's great. It feels pretty good to me. Compared to the way it ships without any handle material on it, this is going to stay in my hand way better. It indexes well. My fingertips, having these kind of foldovers here, have a spot to land that actually feels like they're getting a little traction, and just fills the hand better. Let's double check that it fits in the sheath, and it does. Got my retention even without snapping, so perfect. Got it in the sheath. That'll work. Make sure I can still snap this sucker, and I can. Sweet. So that was a little bit of a process. Hopefully that wasn't the most boring thing in the world ever for you guys to watch. But if you're someone like me who just likes to get things done yourself instead of sending it out, or just enjoys kind of ways to bod knives or do DIY things to enhance them or whatever it is, hopefully that's in some way a little bit informative. As you can see, I am definitely an amateur. This is not a professional job on this handle, far from it. But this knife for me is going to function a lot better now. And as you can see, it's not like I needed tools. All I used was a lighter and another knife to cut the cord. I guess the whole way along, I probably could have used this knife to cut the cord until I got to the back. Then you'll need something else to cut that cord. But yeah, it's not like you need tools or anything crazy to do this. I did it freehand on a table while filming. So if this is something you want to do at home, you definitely can. This is not going to be a difficult project for just about anybody. Just takes a little bit of patience and a little bit of your fingertip strength. But that's all. So hopefully you enjoyed seeing that. That'll be my knife mod for today. I don't know if you could call that a mod, but we'll go with that. We'll run with it. We're calling it a mod. There you have it. And I'll check in with you guys soon on my actual review of this. I'll probably do a use video first, showing kind of what it's made of, some impressions of it, and then I'll do a full review as well. So be on the lookout for that, and thanks for watching.